Good evening and welcome to the Let's Go Racing Motorsports Report. I am Mike Babicz, your host, and we're looking forward to a big show tonight as we do each and every week. We've got a couple of different guests that are going to be joining us from various venues, and we'll be looking forward to getting all that information out to you very soon. We want to thank, of course, our good friends at B&L Office Furniture, Scott Carpenter. He will be racing this Saturday night up at Wilmot Raceway with the street stocks. Also, Steve Sinclair and the Bumper to Bumper IRA Outlaw Sprint Cars. Scotty Thiel picking up a couple of wins with the IRA Series last weekend on Saturday night, I think it was Saturday night and Sunday night. Sunday night it was Angel Park in Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. And on Saturday night, I'm pretty sure it was him that picked up the win, yes, at Beaver Dam Raceway. And then they also raced on Friday night at Mississippi Thunder Speedway up there in Fountain Hills, Wisconsin. And we'll get that winner in just a little bit. Also, the Autometer powered by Ganrud Performance, Wisconsin wingless sprint cars. They were in action on Saturday night up at the Plymouth Dirt Track, and scoring the win up at Plymouth was Adam Taylor. Adam Taylor picking up the victory on Saturday night, and past guest with our program. And just keep your eyes out on what kind of race car you see Adam driving soon. Friday night up at Angel Park in the Badger Midget, Adam finished second to one of our guests tonight, Parker Jones, who's just... every time he gets in a race car, he wins this year. And we'll be talking to Parker a little bit about that, because on Saturday night, I think he also picked up the win at Beaver Dam. And then on Sunday night, I'm pretty sure he completed I know he completed the trifecta because I saw him do it at Angel Park, picking up the Brian Gopinski Tribute and Dean Billings Memorial Dash. Was an event that was held on Sunday at Angel Park, which Kathy and I went up to, and I got to do some pacing with the Black Knight from Bodycraft. So congratulations goes out to all those winners this last weekend. Also, and again, as I mentioned, Steve Sinclair and the IRA are now off for a little bit, although the Autometer powered by Ganrud Performance Wisconsin wingless sprint cars will be at Wilmot Raceway on Saturday night. Along with the street stocks and the modifieds this coming Saturday night, as well as the 604 wing sprint cars from Wilmot will be racing this Saturday night at Wilmot Raceway. And then also the 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery IRA Lightning Sprints, who it seems like haven't raced forever. They didn't race the entire month of June, and July, and now they will be racing this coming Saturday night up at the Plymouth Dirt Track, where I was this last Saturday night with my wife Kathy, and the wingless sprint cars were there on Saturday night up there at Plymouth. So again, just a lot of racing going on, and of course Great Lakes Dragaway, another one of our partners here. They've been very busy, and we're going to talk to John very shortly about what's coming up there. Game Day Men's Health, Force One Performance Parts, and Fox Lake Harbor are also some of our marketing partners, and we want to thank them. So now we are going to bring in out of the green room and into the studio our good friend, John Reidenbach. And John, welcome to the program. And I'm not sure where you are tonight. Last week we got you in the air conditioning where it was nice and cool, and you were trying to do some relaxation before doing some racing. And then looking on Facebook and that, I don't know how much racing you ended up getting in, John.
Yeah, actually, we were down in Sykeston, Missouri on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and then Sunday went to this George Ray's Wildcat drag strip in Paragould, Arkansas, and made a couple passes there. It's kind of like a blast from the past. That was 1961. He opened that track up in his backyard, and it's pretty much stayed the same way. A little bit sketchy for my car, but you got to go down there and do it just to say because it's one of the neat places you have to go and race. So we went down there and we raced, but it was a warm one, definitely hot.
And now Great Lakes Dragaway was busy over the weekend. Last night, Mother Nature not cooperating with just about anybody.
Right.
And the one good thing about last night and yesterday is it has cooled off.
Yeah.
Now the air quality still isn't the greatest because now we've got the smoke to deal with from the wildfires.
Yeah, I know it's crazy. Yeah,
but at least it's a little bit cooler out. And of course, tonight racing going on up at Great Lakes Dragaway as it does just about every day of the week except Monday. And ladies' night got washed out last night, but ladies' night will be back in action next week. But what else do they have going on this weekend at Great Lakes Dragaway, John?
Well, tomorrow is actually an early bird day, on that Friday. So the gates open at noon, so you can get in there and race during the day if you want to early on Friday, which is nice. This weekend's going to be our bracket weekend where they got juniors and bracket cars racing Saturday and Sunday. Then next week as we got coming up, we got our Outlaw Test and Tune on Friday for the Wisconsin Outlaw Street Nitrous Streetcar Brawl, and then. Another big event that we have coming on the 10th is Larry's Fun Fest, which usually packs them all in there for Larry's Fun Fest. So still a lot of things going on, a lot of events still happening yet, even though the season's probably close to being half over or more. It's still pretty full.
Well, and actually it's kind of ironic, but next weekend is an off weekend for Wilmot after this coming Saturday when they race. They're off until the fair. On Wednesday, August the 13th, they will be having racing that night, and that's going to actually be a special night. It is the 75th anniversary season of Wilmot Raceway / Wilmot Speedway / Kenosha County Speedway. It's had a few different names over the 75 years, and that Wednesday night, Julie Bostic has put together a kind of a reunion in memory of her dad, Chuck, and Chuck Jr., I think they might have even done a little bit of drag racing up at Great Lakes Dragaway a number of years ago. But that'll be on Wednesday, August the 13th. It'll actually be the next time any kind of race cars hit the racetrack at Wilmot Raceway. But that's going to be a fun event for Julie, and we're going to have Julie on next week's show to talk a little bit more about it. That's great that you do have a big event there at Great Lakes, because now maybe some folks that are normal, quote, circle track racers or fans might go up to Great Lakes Dragaway next weekend and take in some of the action.
Yeah, and also going on the 8th and 9th, too, so they're going to have one of their big RC car drag race type thing events there, too. So that's kind of neat to walk over to the RC track and see those things and then catch some of the racing. But yeah, like I say, that Wisconsin Outlaw Street Series, that's really got some fast, exciting cars in there. That's always a fun one to watch.
And now I know you and I have been talking about it and teasing a little bit about it. And I know you gave the date at one point. When are we going to see the snowmobile drags on the clay track?
I believe that's October. If I got the date right from last time, I thought it was around October 11th or 12th that they're going to be doing that. I'll confirm on that date. But yeah, those are the fast ones on the clay. Yeah, they'll be there, and that's going to be that's the crazy guys that are doing 160 miles an hour from 0 to 160 in 550 feet. So that's got to be a fun ride.
Yeah, well, it seems like we were just talking last April when, it was still some snow flying and it was still cold and there was still ice. And we were looking forward to a big season of racing at Great Lakes Dragaway and racing in general. And now tomorrow's the 1st of August and it's going away, John.
Yeah, and talking to some of the other racers that are like out in Ohio and stuff like that, in Michigan, we actually have gotten kind of fortunate as far as getting a lot of events in. They got a lot of events got rained out this year east of us, over in Ohio especially. They had some races that got canceled, and in Michigan they got canceled. So I know it hasn't been perfect weather and it's been hot and humid, but we've been pretty fortunate to get a lot of events that we got in.
Yeah, that's for sure. And our hearts and prayers go out to some of those folks that have been losing a lot of events due to weather. I mean, that's still going on down south. Texas got hit hard, and even parts of Florida got hit. And some of the heat that we had has kind of shifted east. And I know where you were at last week, it was quite warm. How's the weather down that neck of the woods now, down Missouri, Arkansas way? Has it cooled off at all down there for them?
No, not yet. Yeah, it was still it was pretty warm this weekend. It was 95, and the heat index was like 105 or something. The humidity's way up there. And then actually, when we went Sunday down to that track in Paragould, Arkansas, that George raced, it was a little bit nicer. There was 85 degrees. We had a little bit of a breeze, but it's kind of, you get down there and you're surrounded with cotton fields and rice fields. It's all cotton and rice down there and real flat, but it was actually pretty comfortable. When I came home, we left Sunday afternoon Sunday evening about 6:00, and I rolled through Chicago about 1:30 in the morning or so, and it was kind of crazy because it was hotter. I mean, it was hotter in the middle of Illinois and south of Chicago than it was down there in Paragould, Arkansas on the way back up. So,
yeah, it stayed warm here pretty much until Wednesday. I mean, then yesterday it kind of cooled off a little bit with all the rain and that. It was a little strange. Even Monday was a little strange with the weather. So,
yeah, sure.
Well, racing wise, and we talked a little bit about this last week, but when it's hot like that, or when it's humid, what does that do to the engine of a drag racing car?
Well, like a lot of us, like our cars that are on gasoline and stuff, it definitely kills the performance a little bit. The density, altitude goes up. My car's I got a supercharger on it, a blower on it, so it's not as bad, but it does slow us down. I think everybody's probably running 2 or 3 tenths of a second, a quarter mile, a little bit slower than they normally do, and then the track temperature gets up. I think they were checking the track temperature at 2:00, and it was like 147 degrees or so, and then the track has a tendency to get greasier, or where it doesn't want to hook. But I will have to say that they were doing a good job down there. The track was working pretty well in that heat. They did a good job prepping the track, so that part was working pretty good. The alcohol guys that are running alcohol, they get a little bit more of an advantage because they're burning over twice as much. The atmospheric conditions don't really affect the tune as much with those guys. They can tune for it, and running the alcohol, they can run it a little bit cooler. But my car, the cooling fans were on pretty good to keep it cooled off, but it did okay.
There you go. Well, now with the shift in weather, you're doing that last weekend. Now you're up to Great Lakes, and then if you happen to go out tomorrow for the test and tune or that, or makes a few runs, now you're looking at a little bit of smoke conditions. You're looking at temperature's a lot cooler.
Yeah.
But humidity it's down. It's not like it was. But now, what kind of adjustments would you be making on the car, tomorrow or this weekend?
Yeah, with the water grain, depending on what the water grains are, like you say, the humidity and everything, it's usually just for me, I'm running fuel injection on it, so mine's kind of simple. I just have a pill or a main jet in it basically, and I can richen it up or lean it out for that, and it works pretty decent. Some guys carburetor changes, they might do a little jet change or a little bit of a timing change. Us not having to run a defined index, sometimes I just get lazy, and if it slows down a couple tenths of a second, I just let it slow down a couple tenths of a second if we're racing like that. But a lot of the racing we've been doing this year has been index, where what we'll do is we've been running some of these shootouts where we'll get some of the cars, like say 32 cars that will be in an index class, and then maybe set the breakout 2 tenths quicker than what the quickest time is, and then basically try to run everybody heads up on that index. Way more competitive on an 1/8 mile track, because whoever has a better reaction time and cuts a better light, can win that race, even if you have a little bit slower car. Quarter-mile track, you got a little bit more leeway. There's somebody could sleep on the light a little bit, maybe still get around them if they got the quicker car. But that's kind of what we do. And then that's a challenge if as the temperatures get cooler in the evening, the cars want to go a little bit faster. So have to watch for that, tune for that too.
Now, Great Lakes Dragway is an IHRA track. Do I have that right?
That's correct. Yeah.
And now, what's the difference between an IHRA track and a NHRA track?
They have different sanctioning bodies that they run under, and the rules are pretty close, very similar between the two major, between IHRA and NHRA, but some of the things are a little bit different as far as like the points races and stuff like that for the bracket racers. The IHRA tracks will go to different IHRA racers will go to different IHRA tracks for different events versus the NHRA ones. Like Byron that we race at, that's an NHRA track. Rock Falls up in Eau Claire is an NHRA track. And we've raced at both of them. But, like for me, when you have a license, the license is a little bit, I have an NHRA license and an IHRA license, but usually, NHRA will only accept an NHRA license. IHRA, if you have an NHRA license, and let you race, and same with like a cage certification. It's a little bit different. I've run both, and Great Lakes Dragway has been both NHRA and IHRA, and I think the insurance with their meets are pretty much the same. It's just a different sanctioning body.
And now with I know when Broadway used to have the track, and I used to be up there and do some announcing from time to time. We had to be really careful with the speeds that we were talking about on the quarter mile because of his sanction. And the track was only sanctioned up to a certain MPH.
Yeah.
Because of the runoff area, because of KR being right there,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. And there were times that the times were not shown up on the scoreboards, and they did not malfunction.
Yeah.
they were purposely not shown, and we were told what we could say and what we couldn't say.
Yeah, sure.
What's the top speed that Great Lakes is now, quote, sanctioned for, or that it's okay to run there?
I believe, I might be wrong, but I believe it's 315 miles an hour is what I think that's, and I don't know if that's what they're sanctioned for, or if that's what Randy and the owners decided, for the jet cars for sure. But I believe I had heard that 315 miles an hour. They didn't want anybody going over that. And there's been some that have been 301, 302 with the jet cars and stuff. So it's got to make sure those parachutes are working when you're going that fast, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's all kinds of legends and stories, and some of them are legend, and some of them are stories, and some of them are true. I mean, cars have gone through the fence and ended up across KR.
Yeah. I physically went out there and I measured it from the finish line to the first turnoff and the second turnoff. And the first turnoff is 1,470 feet away from the finish line. And to the sand trap, if you went all the way to the end, it's 2,163 feet and 8 inches. So you got 2,163 feet and 8 inches to get it stopped after you go through the quarter mile.
Wow. And like for you, what's the top speed in like your type of car, and how long would it take you to stop it?
Okay, so my car, the best I've run, incidentally, it's been at Great Lakes Dragway in the fall, was I ran like an 8:53 in the quarter mile at 157 miles an hour, which for my style of car is my cage is certified to 8.5 seconds, so I'm right there with the cage certification, and with 157 miles an hour, I can get the car stopped at Great Lakes Dragway without opening a parachute. Now, I've been to a couple tracks where I was at Sykeston, Missouri last weekend. That's an 8th mile track, and I was doing 124 miles an hour. And I used the parachute the first time, and almost used the parachute. I mean, it would be better for me to use the parachute there if I was going to make a lot of rounds, because I'm on the brakes pretty hard there, and it was actually kind of squealing the tires just a little bit to get it stopped. I could tell by, the tracks that we race around here, I can pretty much tell what I could do with the shutdown wise. Like Rock Falls has got a super long shutdown. Area 41, US 41 Dragway in Morocco, Indiana's got a real long shutdown. Byron's got a decent shutdown, but I got to get on the brakes a little bit harder at Byron than I do at Great Lakes Dragway. I can tell it's got to be a little bit shorter, but for my car, I can get it stopped pretty well. It's not been an issue too much with my car, other than the first time I went down to Sykeston, Missouri there, and you pretty much got to be on the brake right on the finish line. That's a lot of issues that I see at Great Lakes Dragway sometimes. People complain about the shutdown and that, but you watch some of the cars and they're staying in the gas, 100 feet past the finish line. It's like, or the parachutes don't open until 150 feet or 200 feet past the finish line. It's like they need to kind of look at the white painted lines on the wall and see where the finish line is and make sure you're getting on the brakes there.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. For folks not familiar, what kind of safety gear are you wearing, and what kind of seat do you have in your machine, in your car?
Okay, so like my car, I've got a Kirky racing seat that kind of wraps around. The seatbelt goes through it. I have a 5-point harness in my car. There's a crotch strap, a lap belt, and then 2 shoulder harnesses. And the difference, like you're asking about the differences between IHRA and NHRA, like my car, it was a new rule this year. If you run over 150 miles an hour, you have to have a Hans type device for, your neck restraint, head restraint. Mm-hmm. And I don't think IHRA has adopted that, but that was one of the things I did this year, because I was going over 150 miles an hour. I've got a Hans device for a head restraint, and the harnesses have to be recertified every 2 years. My car also has to have a roll cage around it that's certified. That gets certified every 3 years. NHRA cage for 8.5 seconds and slower. Also have a window net in there, and you have to wear 5-layer pants, a 5-layer jacket, and gloves. And that's kind of nice on days like on this last week we had. It's kind of like I joke with everybody and say I got to put my snowsuit on and then hop in that car and roast to death in there. But it's all for safety things. And then when you start getting into bumping it up into, say, the alcohol fuels, now it gets a 15 or 20 layer fire suit. And if you have a supercharger on it, you have to have blower restraints on it, and different things for like a silver parachute pack on the back, different things for different car requirements, but the cost starts getting up there a little bit more.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, again, now kind of recap a little bit what we got coming up this weekend at Great Lakes Dragway and the first part of next week. I know one thing that we were hoping to do was Hartnell Chevrolet was hoping to have a show again on August 9th. There's just been there's a lot going on that day in the car show world.
Yeah.
And Union Grove has got a huge thing where they actually take over the streets of the town, and they're having craft sales and all kinds of stuff going on August 9th. So the show at Hartnell Chevrolet is going to be rescheduled sometime in the fall, and we'll announce the exact date later on. Culver's Custard there in Paddock Lake is going to have a show on Saturday, August the 30th. It's right now planned Saturday, August the 30th. It's going to start at 10:30 in the morning, go till about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And Cheryl McCrary is going to be there with her band and perform. And then we hope to get some race cars there and some other things going on. And there may be some other activities that we'll be announcing soon. But put that on your calendar if you can make it for a little while. That'll be on Saturday, August the 30th at Culver's of Paddock Lake. Marco really loves racing and has taken a liking to it. So he wanted to get that show together during the summertime before the kids go back to school. So but what do we have going on at Great Lakes that folks can go up there and take a look at and take in?
Okay, so like I say, tomorrow will be early bird Friday, so you can come in at noon and race from noon all the way till 10 o'clock at night. And then this weekend will be the junior dragsters and the bracket racing going on Saturday and Sunday, which, like I say, our bracket program expanded with WIR Kaukauna cars that are coming down from there. So it's usually pretty busy there. And then next week we go with our regular schedule, fun racing on Tuesday, ladies night on Wednesday, ladies race for free, get in for free. Thursday will be our Sticky Thursday. And then Friday will be an outlaw test and tune where we get the track specially prepped with more glue and bring in extra equipment for the Wisconsin Outlaw Series. That'll be Saturday. And then also Friday and Saturday, there'll be the RC races going on the RC track, one of the big meets there, which is kind of neat to watch. And then Sunday, we have Larry's Fun Fest where it gets packed in there with everybody just having a big party and some drag racing going on in that, and it gets pretty busy in there on that Sunday. So it's that's going to be what's going on the next weekend there, and then go back with some other things. We'll be back the following weekend on the 14th. Will be Import Wars, and then pretty much more fun racing and that going on, and another early bird on the 20th to get in early, more brackets, and then. We'll see what bracket racing on the 23rd and 24th. So we'll see how that works out. That, like I say, that bracket program's being really pretty successful this year. And like I say, a couple more early bird Fridays that are on the 22nd and 29th. And then we have our Time Machine Nationals on the 30th. Probably won't be able to make the car show at Culver's because I'll be at the racetrack there. And that's always a good time there.
Okay, well, and actually, my wife's going to Florida to visit our grandson for his 16th birthday, and I can remember the day he was born, John. Tells you how old I'm getting now. I'll be bacheloring next weekend, so maybe I'll sneak up, and if you happen to have your car and you have that second seat in it, maybe I'll take a ride with you at Great Lakes Dragway next weekend. What she doesn't know won't hurt her,
Yeah, actually, next weekend our group won't be racing out there because that Wisconsin Outlaw Series is also going to bring in a stick shift group, for fast stick shift. So they're going to have a lot of cars there. The plan is, and I'll be there watching for sure because I could actually use a couple weekends off, to kind of regroup. But I'll be probably spectating on that day. But it'll be fun white racing to watch. I'll definitely be out there and supporting them guys and watching them.
Well, sounds good. Maybe you and I can sit together and you can explain to me some of the stuff that's going on, and I'll get a little education in some more drag racing.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, and again, now, folks, for the latest information, give them that website, give them that, and I know you got a new phone number, so give them both of the phone numbers.
Yeah, they got a couple different ones. They both, I think they both get answered by Randy, but GreatLakesDragway.com is the place to go. Look on our Facebook page, Great Lakes Dragway, and I'll give you the other phone number that Randy has here, which is the 262-878-3783.
All righty, and that's where you want to go, especially if Mother Nature's throwing us a curveball or putting things on hold for a little while. They'll have the latest updates there. John, always great talking with you, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the drag race real soon.
Sounds good, Mike. Looking
Take
forward.
care. God bless. We'll see you. Bye-bye. John Reidenbach joining us from Great Lakes Dragway. And again, some of the other folks we want to thank that help us get on the air each and every week. We want to thank Jack's Helmets. Jack Eschbach was one of our guests last week. Follow him on Facebook. See some of the work that he does. He just recently did a great helmet that Colin Sivia will probably be wearing this weekend up at Plymouth with his 1175 IRA Lightning Sprint, 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery IRA Lightning Sprint, the number 11 in memory, and well, not just memory, but in recognition of his grandpa, Daryl Dodd. So check that out this weekend. And also Midwest Motor Coach and Olson Transportation. They're going to be a little busy this weekend. Tomorrow morning, about 11 o'clock, they will be leaving from the Foss Park Golf Course with a busload of veterans, and they will be taking them up to the Mitchell Airport for the Lake County Honor Flight. And we plan on going up there and helping to support them tomorrow morning. They'll be going up the interstate with a full police escort, at between 11 and 11:30, and they will be leaving Mitchell Airport sometime tomorrow afternoon, spending 3 days in Washington, D.C., and returning to Mitchell Airport on Sunday evening. The escort back will be right around 7:30, leaving Mitchell Airport. You're welcome to come to the airport and wish them a good send-off or welcome them home on Sunday evening, or watch the motorcade. The motorcade that comes down from Mitchell is unbelievable. And we plan on participating in that motorcade on Sunday as well. So, come and check it out. Anywhere along the interstate, just park and watch is all I'm going to tell you. I don't want to give away too much. If you've never seen it, go and see it. You're going to be very impressed. And these veterans, many of them are Vietnam vets, Korean vets. On occasion, we have a World War II vet. Haven't had one of those for a while. And Cold War vets. They've all earned it. And so, come out and wish them well and welcome them home. MLS Auto Clinic, speaking of the veterans, the Stars and Stripes and Lake County Honor Flight flag stand at Wilmot Raceway is sponsored by Eddie and Debbie Boyd. It's a great addition to Wilmot Raceway and to the starter stand this year. And we want to thank Eddie and Debbie for doing that, and looking forward to, continued support from MLS Auto Clinic for the Honor Flight and the flag stand at Wilmot Raceway. Bodycraft of Antioch, the Black Knight or the Wilmot Raceway Pace Truck have both been in the escort from time to time. Won't make it tomorrow. It's tied up tomorrow. The Black Knight is, but Sunday it's tentatively scheduled to be on the escort home. Also, Lake County Hose and Equipment, Bill Fusting, does some drag racing. His son formerly did some oval track racing at Wilmot. Hunt Club of Richmond, we're going to have a remote show out there sometime in September. Be watching and listening for more details on that. And we also want to recognize Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse. If you like pickleball, or you've never played pickleball and you want to try pickleball, they're having a fundraiser on August 24th. Go to Northern Illinois Council on Alcoholism and Substance Abuse, NICASA's website for more information. A couple of more of our sponsors and supporters, A-Main Apparel and Diecast. They are the official supplier for the Interstate Racing Association souvenir trailer, which is right now at Knoxville Raceway in Knoxville, Iowa, for the 360 Nationals. The 410 Nationals start next Wednesday, and we're going to try to get someone to give us a live report next Thursday night during the show from Knoxville. Hartnell Chevrolet, I mentioned, we're going to have a show up there at some point in the fall. Culvers of Paddock Lake, again, August 30th. Remember that. People Architectural Group will be having a multi-chamber event at Bernie's Book Bank on September the 10th. They were going to try to have one last week, and it ended up getting canceled due to the heat. Actually, it was due to a power outage. So it's been rescheduled for September 10th. And go to People Architectural Group for more information on that. And also, if you need help, particularly with payroll, they can do your payroll for your business, no matter how large or small. Bumper to Bumper, Interstate Racing Association. Again, Steve Sinclair, great supporter of the program. And Bumper to Bumper Midwest Region has also been a supporter of the show. Cabins on the Lake, Nikki Nielsen, a realtor. If you're looking to buy, sell, or rent, contact Nikki Nielsen. And just look her up, Nikki Nielsen, in LinkedIn or Facebook, and reach out to her. She'll help you out. Impressions count. They take care of our signage, like what we have behind us. John Hatterline, attorney at law, licensed in Wisconsin and Illinois, can help you in particular with trusts. If you're wondering about exploring a trust for your family or your loved one, check out John Hatterline, attorney at law. 5-Star Race Car Bodies. They just reopened a great new place in North Carolina. And also Kaylee Burns, who does Grandpa's hair. Did a nice job just this week. So Kaylee Burns up there at the salon in Kansasville, right on 75, right around the corner from 1175 Sports Complex and Eatery. A few more race results, and then we're going to bring one of our guests on here. Friday at Mississippi Thunder, it was Jordan Goldsberry that won the IRA event, and Lauren Kelly and Chatty Matty called the action there. On Monday night at Wilmot Raceway, it was the World of Outlaw late models. Ryan Gustin of Marshalltown, Iowa, scored a very impressive victory as he led flag to flag. Ruben, the voice of the World of Outlaw late models, calling the action there. And Paul Clark, the Wilmot announcer, called the action. And Brandon Murtis out of Salem, Wisconsin, who's going to be on our program next week, he won the street stock main event. Joe Huenfeld of Freeport, Illinois, picking up the win in the IMCA Modifieds. And on Saturday at Beaver Dam, it was Parker Jones out of Blue Mountain, Wisconsin, winning the Badger Midget feature. Preston Martin of Lincoln, North Dakota, picked up $10,000, the largest payout ever for a Legend Series event. And he picked up the win on Saturday night. And the IRA feature Saturday night went to Scotty Thiel. And then Saturday night, Kathy and I were up at Plymouth. I called the action for the wingless cars, and Adam Taylor picked up the win there. The 360 sprints went to Kevin Hemitz. The Grand Nationals, Nick Schumacher of Eagle. The B-Mods, Matt Urban of Milwaukee, and got to enjoy some airtime with my good friend Ray Underwood, who's got a new band. Check out Ray Underwood's Facebook page, see where his band's performing. Go check it out. You'll like it. And also want to thank Eric Heinfeld. He joined us on the mic on Sunday up at Plymouth, on Sunday at Angel Park. He's the regular announcer for the Badger Midgets, and we're going to have Parker Jones on very shortly. But we're going to now get Tim Cox on with us. And as soon as I get him called in. And Tim is going to be racing a little bit of everything. He takes one weekend off, and now he's racing a little bit of everything. Hello there, Tim. How you doing? Doing great. And as long as I get a thumbs up from my producer, Kent, that you're sounding okay, we'll maybe turn you up just a little bit there. And
talk a little more time.
Up there, I think you're good now.
Good now?
Yep, the boss says you're good. Okay, so welcome to the program. I just gave some race results, and but you took the weekend off and didn't do any racing. Well, actually, you did some on Friday, right? I should take that back. You did race Friday night, but you took Saturday and Sunday off. So give the folks a little bit of a rundown what last weekend was like for you and what you got coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, last weekend we actually took the weekend off of dirt racing, but I actually raced a late model first time since 2006. Drove Dennis Doug's old sprint car. So you sprint cars all the time.
Right.
Late model up at the Midwest Tour race up in Madison at the Hobby Lotto race, and it was kind of like a test and tune for us because that was the first time we got the car out. So it was just kind of like a practice session for us, and it went well. I mean, to be expected. I mean, it was kind of nice, from not being in the car for 19 years, and we were less than a second off the pace, so the car wasn't totally up to snuff. It was a little too tight for us. Couldn't get in a corner, and we changed a few things for the feature, but it got lapped about lap 30, I think it was, and we ended up pulling in and just called it a night because it was kind of like a test session for us.
And maybe you can give us be our on the scene reporter. Who won the big event up there?
Casey Johnson did a great job, and Casey Johnson won. Now I don't remember who finished second, but I know Casey Johnson won.
All righty. And what for folks not familiar with those kind of late models, what's the difference between that and sometimes you'll hear late models referred to as a super late? You'll have the ASA Midwest group. You'll have the Big 8 series. You'll have local tracks have their own late models and late model rules. How did the cars fit in on Friday night?
Our cars would actually be like a super late model. It's the Big 8 cars. They actually run 8-inch tire on them, and they got more of a restricted motor. Where our motors are like, there's all kinds of motors they have. I mean, it's kind of silly. I think it is. There's too many combinations of engines.
Uh-huh.
And I think that was one of the problems that it's kind of hurt pavement racing because there's too many options. But it's still thriving pretty good. I mean, there was 26 cars up there Friday night, and that was a 100-lap feature, so it was a pretty good thing.
Now,
and the rest of the weekend we took off because my nephew got married, so we went to his wedding, and this was planned back in January, and we didn't have a dirt ride at that time, and we got a dirt ride from BG Wood about 3 weeks before racing started, and thanks to him for running the dirt car this year, and Brooks Saloon. If we didn't have them helping us, we probably wouldn't be racing right now. So it's kind of nice to have someone like that, Randy from Brooks Saloon.
Right, and so I don't think you took too big of a hit in the points. I mean, Adam Taylor picked up the win on Saturday at Plymouth. That's if my memory serves me correct. I think that's 5 tour wins for the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance Wisconsin Wingless Sprint Car Series. Plus, he also picked up a win down at Kankakee in the American Sprint Car Tour show that was down there. And he runs a Badger Midget. I mean, he's been having
a great year. I mean, he's a very good driver, and it kind of shows because the more you race, the better you get. So he's been racing quite a bit lately. And him and Miles Doherty, they've both been running a lot.
Yep,
they've both been getting a lot better.
Yeah, well, then it was kind of funny because Saturday night, Miles decided to stay at Beaver Dam and run the second night of the Badger Midgets at Beaver Dam on Saturday, while Adam came over to Plymouth. and then on Sunday, they were both back together at Angel Park running the Midget. But he already is looking forward to Saturday being back at Wilmot with the wingless. For somebody like him, and I mean, you drive a lot of different cars, and here, you drove an asphalt late model, and now you're going to be jumping in a wingless sprint car this coming week. What kind of adjustment is that for a driver to be going from one type of car to another type of car, and for you going from asphalt to dirt, and sometimes going from one type of dirt at one facility to a different type of dirt at another facility?
It's you just got to remember which car you're in. Just like this coming Saturday night, I'm going to run the wingless car and I'm going to run the wing car. So it's they drive totally different. I mean, it's like with our cars, like at Wilmot, our hot lap sessions are qualifying. So you got to go out in your first lap. You got to run wide open. Mm-hmm. It's kind of, some guys have a hard time doing that on their first lap, running wide open, and it's just something that you have to do. And over the years, we've ran so many different racetracks that it's something I can adapt to pretty fast. Yeah,
that's for sure. How many, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but I will anyway. How many different tracks have you run in the course of your racing career? How many?
That's something I have never counted all the tracks I've been at, but I'm sure there's probably 50 to 75 different racetracks I've raced at, across the whole country and in Canada.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, and like I say, I mean, you even drove Phoenix, where NASCAR runs.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, we ran there I think 3 times with the sprint cars.
Right. And did you ever run Milwaukee Mile when they put the sprinters on there?
No, not with the sprint cars. I ran there with the late models.
With the late models, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
What about road courses? Has Tim Cox ever driven road courses?
The only road course I ever driven on is when we were in the One Lap of America.
Uh-huh.
We actually went to Sears Point and we raced on we had a time one time the lap around Sears Point, and out of 80 cars, I was the 7th quickest car. So it was kind of cool because there were some factory Audi teams there, and there was a lot of factory cars at that time. But we were the lone soldier that went out there and ended up 7th quick out of 80 cars, which was pretty neat.
Oh, that's pretty awesome. That is pretty awesome. Now, as you mentioned, now Saturday night, you talked a little bit about your ride in the wingless car, thanks to BG Wood. What about your ride in the 604 wing car? Whose car is it, and sponsors on that car that you want to thank?
It belongs to Tom Brown, and I'm not 100% sure I'm sponsors on it. Thanks to Tom.
Well, I don't know if you know. I mean, you were racing that night, so you might not have heard eventually. But the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Show at Wilmot on that Saturday night, the 50-50 winner was Tom Brown.
Yeah, he told us the following week when we went to work on the car. He told us about it. And it was kind of neat. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah.
Well, it was funny because we kept announcing, and nobody was claiming, and nobody was coming to where they were supposed to go to pick up their money. And then all of a sudden, we got a message that it was him. He was, and he goes, I'm in the ambulance, but it's me. I got the ticket. So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So maybe we'll have a new tire on that car this week. I guess we'll see.
There you go. That's for sure.
I know he had a big party at his house last weekend for his son. Their baby shower, so he probably spent it on that.
There you go. That's for sure. Well, you've had three essentially this week. You've got 3 cars to work on. You've got one to kind of quote debrief on, which you got a little bit more time on the asphalt late model because you're not going to run it until you're tentatively planning a week from Friday. Is that right?
No, a week from Saturday.
A week from Saturday.
The Dells. Yeah.
Okay, so you got a little bit of time to work on that one and get that one ready to go. But the wing 604 and the wingless, you got to have them ready to go. Although the wingless, it's been a while since you've driven it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it kind of has been neglected too. That's why I was working on it just before you called me. We're getting it ready to go for this weekend, and the wing car, we actually got that done last week. And we'll have a wingless all ready to go, and hopefully we can knock Adam off for a feature one.
Yeah, well, you better give the wingless an extra, little stroke or something, so it doesn't get mad at you on Saturday.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll give a little pet.
So, we've talked about this before with a lot of the drivers I've had on the program and over the years, and that you guys, as Steve likes to call it, are blue collar racers. You guys have regular jobs, you have day jobs. You're not like some of these guys that ran with the World Outlaw late models Monday at Wilmot, or ran with the World of Outlaw sprint cars, or run with USAC even. Where these guys, that's what they're doing for a living. They get a paycheck by racing.
Exactly. Yeah.
How much time are you able to spend on the race car, and what does Tim Cox do for a living?
I actually work in a welding and fabricating shop in Park City, Illinois, and it's called Zen Welding. We do a little bit of everything. I mean, it's from if your kitchen table broke up to fixing semis to building train cars for Aldridge Electric. I mean, we do a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So, and then the race car, you just make time for it.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, and we got a couple, I know you can't see it. We got some people checking in on our Facebook chat. Sean Miles says to tell you hello. Mel both says to tell you hello. Of course, Mel, one of the relatives of Johnny Reimer that still has the A3 car and brings it out from time to time. And glad to see them tuning in tonight. Push Truck Tony Wizard, just checked in as well. And we also, I just heard yesterday that Tony is retired from working at the racetrack, and we wish him well, and we hope he's not a stranger. We hope to see him at the races from time to time, and like he said, he's going to start working on the honey-do list and a lot of projects around the house that have been neglected over the years. So, but
there's a few other sponsors I like to thank too.
Go right ahead.
Hunt Club of Richmond, they've done a great job for us the past few years, and Kenosha Land Management, Jack's Custom Helmets, Super Shocks, and my daughter for working on our racing page all the time, keeping it up to date and doing a good job on that. And just thanks to everybody that comes off the racetrack, and bring your friend every time you come.
There you go. Your grandson, has he tried any racing yet, or is he thinking about it?
I don't know. He's been in baseball all year long. He just got off baseball like 2 weeks ago, so I don't know what's racing wise. He's racing snowmobiles in the wintertime. Oh. But in the summertime, he's too busy with baseball. He really enjoys baseball, so he kind of hasn't put baseball on the side yet for racing yet.
Well, there you go. Well, unless I get told otherwise, I just want to double check because Parker Jones was planning on joining us tonight. He had hoped to. He does have a day job, and he was going to be with us a couple of weeks ago, and he wasn't able to because at the last minute he had a meeting for his day job. Okay, so since I don't have anybody in the green room, Tim, you get to stay with me if that's okay.
Sure.
Let's talk about somebody like Parker Jones. I don't know how much you've seen him race this year, and my numbers might be off. I'm hoping I'm right. Sunday night he won, I believe it was his 9th Badger Midget Feature win of the year, and his 8th in a row at either Badger or Sun Prairie or both. I mean, he's so smooth. He's so good at what he does. And he actually picked up now 2 weeks in a row, Tim, he's picked up $2,000 bounties.
Yeah, I think the first week was $1,000. I think the second week was $2,000.
All right. Okay. I just knew he picked up bonuses 2 weeks in a row because, and that brings it back to the old days. I remember when promoters used to do that. If somebody was winning a lot, they'd throw some money on them and say, okay, but the driver that's got the bounty on them, they have to finish the race. You can't take them out, you know. And actually Badger had him that he had to be on the same lap as the leaders.
Because they're having a great year this year. I mean, it's like when your ducks are in a row, your ducks are in a row. I mean, it's the few championships that we won with the wing cars. I mean, we won like 4 or 5 features, not in a row, but 4 or 5 features out of 15 races. That's pretty nice. And I know the one year we finished second in the Little 500. We went on to win the championship that year. That was in 2005. Driving for Don Lambert, and it was just one of those years. It's like you could do nothing wrong. But the year before that, we went to the Little 500 and hot laps. We blew the engine up. So you never know from year to year.
That's for sure. Well, and
the years Parker's having this year, you got to take those in stride because they don't happen that often.
No. Well, and I did not realize. I mean, people had told me when Adam Taylor was starting to run with the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance Wisconsin wingless sprint cars, that he had run with Badger and he was pretty good with Badger. Well, Saturday night, Eric was talking on the microphone that Adam's got like 35 Badger feature wins.
Oh yeah, I think in 2023 he was a Badger champion.
Yes, he was a champ. And I mean, I just didn't know that and obviously he didn't have that much experience in a wingless car, but it's somewhat the same. And
right, and we've got to be friends. I mean, we're not saying we're great friends, but we got to be friends over the year. And it, like he was talking, the 604s are very compatible with the midgets because they both are like under horsepower compared to like the national midgets and like the USAC sprint cars for us. So you got to hustle the cars quite a bit. And you so used to have been doing that for the past, 5-6 years. So it was just kind of like a natural fit when he got in the sprint car.
Yeah, that's
they're they react a little bit slower than the midgets. The midgets are a lot twitchier. So it, he's done a great job, and he's driving for a great team, and they got really nice cars.
Yeah, that's for sure. And I'm sure maybe he's even bent your ear a little bit, and maybe he's going to be walking over and talking to Tom Brown. He shared with me that he'd really like to run a wing sprint car, and so I know he's been talking to a few people to see if he could at least get in one for the night and see what happens. I'm hearing he might have a ride Saturday in a 604. There's some conversations happening, but it may or may not happen, for Saturday. But if it doesn't happen Saturday, I think you're going to see it sometime before the end of the year.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be really good. And he'll be, I don't know. It's not always up to be 604 wing cars. It's a good class for, like a starter class in that. And it's just, they're not that hard to drive.
Oh, he's here. Parker.
Okay.
Parker just popped in. Well, Tim, you can say hello to Parker, and then we'll let you go, Tim.
Hey, Parker, enjoy yourself and have fun, and good luck again this weekend.
Thank you.
That was Tim Cox, Parker Jones. I don't know how much you know Tim or have heard of him. I'm sure he's had a lot of success over the years and driving just about anything, almost like you.
Right.
Well, welcome to the program. And we were just talking about the kind of year that you've been having. It's phenomenal. How many overall wins do you have? And are my numbers right? You've got 9 Badger midgets and 8 in a row. Is that right?
We got 9 in a row and then 10 on the year, 10 or 11.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen you run. I saw you run last year for one of the first times. My wife and I came up for the Nationals Labor Day weekend last year, and you ran really strong then. And it seems like now every time I come up to Angel Park, you win.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to just, leave a pit pass for me that, so I come every time so that you win every time.
Yeah. Yeah. No, we've been having a really good year. So, you can't even make this stuff up really. So, I don't know. I don't show up to run second, and I'm going to do anything I can do to try and win. So.
And now Tim and I were just talking too, in the old days, promoters used to put bounties on people. Mm-hmm. And maybe it's because you got a guy that learned from his dad, the late John McCarnes. You got Greg McCarnes there at Angel Park. And so $1,000 bounty 2 weeks ago, you picked that up. $2,000 bounty last Sunday night, you picked that up. Is there any other bounties that you know of so far?
I haven't heard anything yet. So be curious to see if anything comes out. If not, it's been fun. So, it's racing for more money is always nice. It's been nice that we've been able to pick up both of them. We're going to get beat at some point. There's no doubt about that. You can't win them all. So just have to see what happens.
What's your goals for the rest of the year? Obviously you just mentioned every time you get in a race car, you want to win, but are you worried about points? Are you not worried about points? Are you looking to move somewhere besides the midgets next year or even this year?
I'm always looking. I want to run national midgets really bad. If the cards align, maybe something would happen. But right now I have nothing planned. We're just kind of playing out the year, seeing what it brings. We're kind of racing for points. I really don't look at the points. I just go race. So the points play out however they're going to play out.
Now, as the races go along, Sunday night, I think you started where was it 10th?
Yeah, I started 10th on Sunday night.
And to be honest, from an announcer and a race fan's point of view, I liked seeing you start in the middle of the pack because I knew I was going to see passing.
Right.
Because sometimes when you go to races, when they put the quote fast guys up in the front or they win the dash and get to start in the front row, you sit there and you watch a freight train go by all night.
Right. Yeah, no, as much as I don't like, starting on the front row, I did it. It's only happened one time in a midget for me. So everybody complained. I'm the type of racer that, I want to see a good race put on. I want to see passing. Everybody wants me to start dead last. If somebody puts something up, I'll do it. I'm not going to voluntarily do it. But if somebody wants to put up some money, I would start dead last and give it a go. So I started 16th after I flipped in the heat race, and we won that night. So there's not many more cars after 16th with us. So
that's for sure. That's for sure. Now, coming up in a few weeks after the Kenosha County Fair down at Wilmot, you guys are coming in. The Badger Midgets are coming in on Saturday night. I think it's the 23rd, if my memory serves me correct. And now, how much experience have you had over the years at Wilmot, and your thoughts about coming down to Wilmot?
I've ran there a couple times. I started, I think, second row outside last year, and we were able to walk away with a win. We were quite a few seconds ahead of second place. So, we've had success there. Just hopefully we can carry that through this year and see what we can do.
And I haven't looked at the Badger schedule. How many more shows do you have left this season? And I know we've talked about points in that. You're not really overly concerned about them, but how close are you to clinching it?
I want to say we have like maybe 10 races left, somewhere around there. I know August is pretty busy for us. I mean, it's definitely winding down. Maybe it's 8. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the schedule, but I think I'm like 2 races to the good on points, somewhere around there. Like I said, I haven't looked, so I've just been showing up and racing. So Eric says every week on the mic that I'm in the lead, so I know I'm in the lead.
There you go. How did Parker Jones get interested and started in racing?
I raced go-karts when I was a little kid, but my throttle stuck, and that was kind of short-lived. I got scared of it, and when COVID hit and everything shut down, we had some neighbors down the road buy legend cars, and I was like, well, this is pretty cool. I'm going to buy one too. So we bought one, and then 2 weeks later, my brother bought one, and then it just kind of took off from there.
Now, talking about legends, you were when Badger Midgets were at Beaver Dam last weekend. You were kind of doing double duty Friday and Saturday, running a legend too, and you were running at one point. I was following on my race pass, and at one point, I think you were inside the top 10. I think you even got as high as maybe 6th.
Yeah, I was up to 6th. I drove it all into the backstretch wall, going down the backstretch all on my own. So I was having fun. Those cars you have to drive on the ragged edge all the time, and it's really hard to do. And being away from those cars, it's hard to get in them and be good right away. They're most definitely one of the hardest race cars out there to drive. So at the beginning of the race, I was ready to pull in. I couldn't find my groove, and I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, $10,000. We need to figure something out here. And I started picking off cars, and I don't know, we had like 10 laps to go, and I was like, man, I got a car. I think I could potentially have a car to win here. Started picking off cars, and a couple of the restarts, I just got stuck to the bottom, and wish I was on the top, and it played out, and I mean, I was more than happy to get up to sixth and run there for a little while. So I had a lot of fun. I always have a lot of fun with the Legend guys. Legends Direct gives me a car, and basically just whatever I do. So there's no expectations, and just get in and have fun.
Well, a guy that I know you're familiar with because he won a Badger Midget Championship. He's won 35 features, I guess. Is what Eric said last weekend. Adam Taylor, runs with you guys off and on when he's not running with his wingless car with the Wisconsin wingless. And now he's talked to me off mic, and he's trying to find somebody to give him a ride in a wing sprint car. Parker Jones have any ambitions of trying a wing sprint car?
Yeah, I definitely do it. I don't want to own anything that has to do with a sprint car. I know nothing about them, but I would definitely drive one. We've had kind of some back burner deals in the works to get in a 410. Nothing's come of it yet. Still hopeful, but you never know.
There you go. Well, I always like to give drivers an opportunity to thank people that get them to the racetrack, that support them, that do the behind the scenes stuff. I mean, we get to see Parker Jones in Victory Lane a lot, and we get to see you, but there's always the people that are the supporting class and the marketing partners that are helping you out. So this is your time to thank all those people and all those marketing partners.
Yeah, I mean, I really got to thank my mom and dad. They're the ones that get me to the track. I own the cars, and Dad owns the hauler and that kind of stuff. So he gets me there. But I got to thank Work Truck Stuff, Pokerville Ironworks, Advanced Fastening Supply, Fan Active, Spankins Motorsports, PWA Insurance, Wrenchway. I'm probably missing somebody along the lines, but I got a lot of great partners that help me out every week and make it so I can do what I love. There you go.
And we just had Mike Lardy just check in with us on our Facebook Live here. He's coming to Wilmot this week to watch Adam Taylor and the wingless cars. But what's your schedule like now? You're heading up to a track that Badger doesn't always run it, but I know you guys are looking forward to going up to Eagle River tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it looked like a fun track. We were there for about 20 minutes last year and watched it rain. So, got an idea of the place. Kind of unsure what we're going to go in for a game plan yet, but I'm sure we'll be fine, and we'll just take it like any other race day and see what we can do.
And then after that, are you guys off until the Corn Fest at Angel Park the following Sunday?
No, I know we race Angel Park next Sunday night. We actually just filmed a commercial for Fox 47 this afternoon for that. So I know we race there with the Dirt Kings late models and IMCA modifieds. And then I know the rest of August is pretty busy after that.
Okay. Do you make any more trips down to Sycamore?
I think we have one left down there, possibly two.
Okay, so you still got a pretty full schedule. And of course, folks can go to badgermidgets.com, I'm sure, and check out the schedule. And where can folks go to follow Parker Jones and keep track of you when they're not able to watch you at the races?
Facebook is the big one. They can follow along on Facebook. I got a couple people running my page on there, and they try to keep everyone up to date. Other than that, I really don't do much social media really anywhere else. So Facebook's the big one. I got Instagram. I don't really use it. I got Twitter, and I don't know how to use Twitter. So.
And what does Parker Jones do when he's not driving a race car or working on a race car?
We got our own excavating company. So I was actually just pulling in the driveway, and I looked at my phone, and I'm like, man, I kind of forgot all about this call. So I come in and just got on. So.
Well, I'm glad you did. I'm glad we were able to visit finally. I know we tried a couple weeks ago, and it just didn't work out because you got work called you.
Right.
and you had to go to work. Well, Parker, congratulations on the year you've had. Continued the best. I'll be watching you on my race pass tomorrow night, seeing how you're doing up there in Eagle River, and I'll be looking forward to catching you again, probably at Angel Park for Cornfest.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you, Parker. Take care. God bless, buddy.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye. And that was Parker Jones, who wins just about everything this year. Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week's program. Again, like Tim Cox said, get out to a local racetrack and bring a friend with you and enjoy the races, because that's what's going to keep the sport going. Saturday night, I'll see you at Wilmot Raceway, along with the Autometer powered by Gandrud Performance, Wisconsin wingless sprint cars. Until we talk to you next time, and see you next Thursday here on the program. And don't forget Great Lakes Dragaway this weekend too, and the Lake County Honor Flight. Until next time, this is Mike Babicz wishing you a pleasant evening, the best of tomorrows. Remember, kids, just say no to drugs. Thanks. Good night. God bless. And let's go racing, everybody.